SGC here, and we're back with a movie review. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles! So for the Who, What, Why, directed by Jonathan Liebesman, who previously brought us Wrath of the Titans and also Battle Los Angeles. And this stars Megan Fox, Will Arnett, and a lot of other people. Check below for the full listing. So before I went into this, I had a lot of doubts. As when this was first announced, it was done by Michael Bay, and there were aliens, there were Megan Fox, and I was like, oh man. And then I watched Age of Extinction, and I was seriously, okay, I'm done with Michael Bay. But strangely enough, I was intrigued by the trailers, and I was like, why not? At least it's not directed by Michael Bay, so there's that silver lining, so I went. So some background context on myself and the Turtles is that I have seen the 3 live actions back in the day, and I loved them. But then realistically, I think it really helped that I watched a dub version of it, because I tried watching it again in English and I just couldn't get past the corniness and the cheesiness of it. But I swear, when I was a kid and I was watching the Chinese dub version, I loved it, and I swear I'll probably love it still now if I watch it. Because the secret of cheesiness is that if you dub it in Chinese, the cheese in English sort of disappears. So what do you think? Scene transitions, I try. So what's there to like? Well, first off, aesthetically, this is great. I was surprised by the look of the turtles, and I was like, oh, they look kind of weird, but I'm like, hey, watching the entire movie, I actually enjoyed them much more than the live action pieces, because there are much more expressions, and it feels more they can actually fight. And that's the biggest part, is that with CGI, everyone knows how to fight, and it looks real, and it looks fun, and it's just jam-packed action. I think it's not really fair to compare it back to the early 90s, as in 1990, that's when the first live action came out, and like 24 years later. Well, I would give and take. I would rather take the CGI. As great as looking as those turtles are, I prefer the actual fightingness of these turtles. Megan Fox, in terms of acting, I would say this was great in terms of her acting career. She's here to act rather than to be eye candy, and that was somewhat of a, oh, that's nice, they actually let her try to act. So now in terms of the actual turtles themselves, I really enjoyed the turtles. Basically, that's the bottom line. I enjoyed them every time they were on the screen. I loved it. The banter, the lines was just fun, and they were just really the heart of the movie. And I think that they should have went straight for that instead of using Megan Fox as sort of the vehicle narrative of this entire movie, because the first 30 minutes, it's just April O'Neil, and we hear about these vigilante turtle thingies in the background sort of thing. Now, in terms of the plot, I actually enjoyed the change of origin. It really brought the reason why April O'Neil would be even close to the Turtles, because that was sort of like, I never got or understood why a grown woman would chill out with these Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they'll be totally cool with it, and she would be totally cool with it. But the fact that they changed the origin is like, oh, I get sort of why you would chill out and stuff. So there's that. Overall, the plot is simplistic, the villain, the motivations are really crappy, but the origin itself, I would say, that was interesting, and I give them props for changing something new, and it worked, and I enjoyed it. So yes, the Turtles were awesome, and can you just watch it for them? I would say, why not? I mean, if you can go through all the bad stuff. So what's the bad stuff? The dialogue is really cringeworthy, atrocious. It's really bad, and it's just bad. I mean, sure, I said the Turtles were awesome. Like, some of their lines were hit and miss, but they were more hits than miss, whereas all the human actors were just exposition to the wall, just really bad. I mean, I have pet peeves as in exposition and language. If you can speak your native tongue to another person that understands your native tongue, you continue to do that in your native tongue. You don't all of a sudden change it to English, because why? When you think that you're such a superior race, you wouldn't try to speak another language when both of you understand your native tongue. If you speak Japanese, you continue to speak Japanese. So beyond the dialogue, we have some crazy crap scene transition and editing. For some reason, I swear they probably forgot that they created this thing, and then they're like, oh, let's talk about that and not address that. Like, for example, one character is mortally injured, we have no idea if he's gonna live or not, and all of a sudden they just leave him alone. There is no dialogue to compensate or just to explain, is he gonna die or live? Or another scene where Shredder is like, hey, you are the menace, so let me get you. And then we got the Turtles fighting Shredder to like hold him back sort of thing, and she sort of runs away. And all of a sudden, Shredder disappears after owning Wrath. It's sort of like, so Shredder made that line of dialogue saying, hey, I'm gonna get you. But what happened to the I'm gonna get you? So that didn't happen. Now in terms of the look of Splinter and Shredder, I would say I'm sort of sick of mechanized suits in general because of Iron Man and then Wolverine. We got the mech suit, and then it's too close. Like if the Wolverine didn't exist and we got the Shredder suit, I would have loved it. But since we got a mechanized Silver Samurai suit and then we got the Shredder suit, it's just like kind of overdone and overkill. And Splinter really looks like CGI. At least with the Turtles, they sort of look real, but Splinter, the close-ups, because there's just way too many close-ups of him, and it's just like, dude, like it's just hard to accept that you're real. So there you have it, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2014 alliteration. Good Turtles, fun stuff. They still have the charm, but I swear they could have so much more. Like if they just used them as the vehicle, as the original series did, using them as the main characters rather than using April O'Neil featuring Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because that's pretty much this entire movie. So the biggest question here is that, do I feel that they did a good remake or a good adaptation? It's a good try, but it's not a great adaptation or a reboot or a remake or what have you. But I'm happy that it exists, as in the new generation can at least see a sliver of what we back in the 90s saw. Sure, the 90s was cheesy, but I enjoy that. But I think they did a good update and upgrade in terms of aesthetics, and it makes the Turtles badass. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that kids will go to these movies and go like, holy crap, Ninja Turtles, they are badass because they can punch stuff and just do damage. And I'm like, hey, more people liking Ninja Turtles, so why not? So what do you think? Now your turn. Have you seen the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2014 edition? And what do you think about it? Leave me a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible, and we'll discuss and talk about some great 90s cartoon people. And that is all for this movie review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.